This season dedicated to the memory of Joseph and Bernard Gantz, brother and grandfather, forever with us on the hunt.
Have you ever dreamt of doing something that would call for you to step outside your comfort zone? Do you have the courage inside to accept that challenge? As an outdoorsman, every time we embark on a new adventure, our character, our will, our determination, and our drive are challenged. Follow as we attempt to define ourselves as hunters, outdoorsmen, and friends on this epic adventure. The harvest, that's the bonus. If it were always that easy, there would be no challenge, there would be no drive, there would be no will to get up and do it again. We are wild about hunting. Are you?
This segment brought to you by De Jesus Family Chiropractic, improving lives with chiropractic. All right, welcome to this week's episode of Wild Bout Hunting. This week we're going to be getting ready final preparations and details for our Ohio trip, and also one of our team members, Wally Boyle, going to be getting it done in PA. We're just about done with all the preparation and everything back home here for Ohio, but there's a couple things that we still got to fine tune and get stuff finished. One of them is I got to buy my license. So I had to hop on the computer and go to the DEC website for Ohio, or DNR website for Ohio, and order my hunting license. And I just went ahead and I stayed positive when I ordered it. I ordered the license and all 3 either sex tags that I needed in order to go out there and hunt. And fingers crossed that we were gonna fill one of those tags on this hunt when we head on out. Deer season started, and I got a big doe down here in Pennsylvania, and it's been a rough season in PA so far. We've been seeing some small buck, but nothing big. But it's really, what's the calendar saying here? Today's the 18th, and I'm leaving in, 11 days for Ohio. So what I need to do before I get out to Ohio is order my license. So I'm going to do that right now. Let me get my notes out so I know what it is I'm supposed to be buying. We're going to be hunting in Ross County in the Chillicothe area of Ohio, and I spoke with the wildlife conservation officer as well as the one of the wildlife supervisors in the main office there, and they all recommended that we hunt Tar Hollow State Forest. So what I'm going to do, the way they have their counties and their management units broken up is we are allowed to harvest in the county that we're in. It's a 3-deer county, which means I can purchase my non-resident deer license, my hunting license, and then I purchase permits. And in that county, it's either sex permits. So in the entire state of Ohio, I'm allowed to shoot or harvest 1 buck, and I can purchase up to 3 either sex permits in Ross County. So that means I can kill 2 doe and a buck. Well, one of the things that we needed to do was we needed to figure out where were we going to be sitting. So we bought a couple of tools. Obviously, I have my Garmin GPS that's going to help me figure out where I'm at when I'm out on the property. And another cool tool that I went and got was Onyx Maps that sells great SD cards that you can buy for your GPSs. And I went and bought the one for Ohio itself, for the entire state of Ohio. And that is a great tool because what it does is it shows you all the boundaries of the state properties as well as the private properties and who the landowners are there. And we knew we were going to have to possibly maybe knock on some doors when we got there. So this gives me an idea of who I need to look at when I'm going to knock on some doors. I'll know that person's name ahead of time and where their property boundaries are in relation to the state game lands. Well, when you're looking at maps and you're trying to figure out where it is you're going to be hunting, 2 sets of eyes or more are better than 1. And I installed the help of one of our team members and my brother, David Gantz, to kind of sit down with me, and he and I got at the kitchen table one night,
pulled up all the mapping and all the details that Bob Nelson and the folks at the Ohio District 4 office sent to us, and it was time to start mapping out on Tar Hollow State Forest where we were going to try to focus our hunting efforts in. We wanted to get it narrowed down to at least 2 different spots for the first day or two in case we ran into places where guys might have been already set up. So David and I sat down and we started pulling up on Google Maps, coordinated with what we had on the papers, and seeing what was going to be the best case scenario to go in there blind and try and figure out one of these big Ohio deer. This segment brought to you by Deer Track Design. From custom decals to state-of-the-art printing, no order's too small. If you can dream it, we can print it. All right, well, let's talk preparation again. We're still in that phase. We're getting oh so close to the day that we leave to head to Ohio. And one of the things that I always take really good care of is we talked about physical fitness, we talked about mental fitness. The other thing we got to look at is making sure that, we're healthy all the way around, and we're not getting any younger here. Off to the chiropractor. See you all at the chiropractor. Back care is always something we got to be careful of, and one of the things that I've had with hunting and carrying all the gear is I've had some back problems, and so I wanted to make sure that I was in the best shape I could be in, not only with strength and conditioning, but also with my back health. So I decided, what better way to do that but visit my chiropractor, Dr. Rowena De Jesus, at De Jesus Family Chiropractic, and have an adjustment done just in time before I head out to Ohio. So why choose Dr. Rowena De Jesus and De Jesus Family Chiropractic? Well, I've been going there for years, and she's had great care. There have been times where I have walked in there literally bent over, not able to stand up because of whatever. I'm working on the ambulance or falling or whatever the case may have been. And she's been able to help me maintain a healthy lifestyle, with my back, and keeping me able to enjoy the things that I like to do, not only with my job and family, but also with all the hunting that we do as a group here with Wild Bout Hunting and with our kids. So as you go into the office, first thing is, why do we go there? Man, it's an inviting place. You just got to see it. First of all, when you get to De Jesus Family Chiropractic, which is a big wellness center, not only do they have the chiropractic in there, they have massage therapy, they have pet therapy in there for your favorite four-legged friend. But when you pull into their parking lot, their entire roof it's full of foliage and wildlife. It is a moss covered type of roof. It's so neat, and it just adds to your visit, because it's so calming. You walk in, it's a very inviting atmosphere. They're very friendly folks, all the staff there at the chiropractic clinic. And then the waiting room, you've got more wildlife down there. They've got a big fish tank with turtles and fish and whatnot in it, so you're relaxed. A lot of people, they go to a doctor to get that white coat syndrome. That doesn't happen here at De Jesus Family Chiropractic, and that's why I chose to go there and have Dr. Rowena help me make sure that I'm ready to go on this trip. But one of the other things that I wanted to make sure of is not only getting all my gear packed and everything, was making sure my gear was clean. You're traveling and whatnot, so I made sure I had my scent blocker, laundry detergent, and we washed all our clothes down the cellar, put everything in there, had my scent blocker dryer sheets, and dried everything, put them into the scent proof bags, and had everything all clean, scent proof, ready to go, because we're going to be out there for 9-10 days. Now, most likely we're going to have to wash our clothes at least once while we're out there, again, maybe twice, depending upon how the weather is and how hot it is and how much human odor you're doing, but we're going to be spraying down and everything, and that stuff will all be going with us. But I wanted to make sure that all of my gear was clean and scent free before we got out there, because as soon as we got there the first day, it was check in at the hotel, change into the hunting clothes, and head over to the woods to set up for the either first evening hunt or get stands hung for the first morning. All right, so team member Wally Boyle, been a good friend of mine for many, many years. We actually worked together on the ambulance. He's our paramedic coordinator, and Wally's getting ready to hunt on some public land just outside, basically his back door. Now, for everybody watching, he is well outside the safety zone, which is 150 yards. He's probably only 300 yards from his home, and you'll get to hear from what he has to do. But man, he has got the deer, and him and his daughter, they've been hunting there all through archery season. They've been seeing some good deer. Almost had a chance for her to get a shot at a nice buck, but now Wally's out there, and it's going to be opening day of rifle season, and he's fixing to have a fun time. This segment brought to you by Nightstar Munitions, family owned and operated, located at 318 Yorktown Drive, Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Well, okay, as Dennis said, where I was hunting for opening day is about 350 yards from my house. And unfortunately, because of being public land, I can't be putting out my ground blind. So I wind up having to use my ATV to get my ground blind and all my hunting equipment and everything out set up. Unfortunately, I originally this year was supposed to be hunting on somebody else's property, but I lost permission to hunt there. So I had to fall back to this area. And during bow season, my daughter and I did get to see a lot of deer action there. We had a real nice 6-pointer come in. Unfortunately, it came in at a wrong angle that she wasn't able to get a shot off. But we did see a lot of deer activity, which made it really hopeful and promising for rifle season. Great thing with opening day is getting out there bright and early in the morning and enjoying the sunrise and the forest come alive, see the animals come out, and that's the best part of going out and hunting, is enjoying the nature and the calmness. A lot of people talk about us sitting out in the woods and how boring it can be, and it's not really boring, it's exciting with the job that I have with a lot of the stress. It's really good to relieve some stress and be able to sit and enjoy nature's show and watching the animals come around. During the day, saw a lot of doe walk in. Being the first week of rifle season here in Pennsylvania, doe were unable to be shot, so I got to be able to watch them walk around and hope that they'd pull in a buck later on during the day. Well, it's Friday morning now, so I get up and take care of my wife and daughter and get their lunches packed for them for going off to school and work, and get my stuff packed up to head out into the woods and get myself prepared for an all-day hunt. With the limited amount of days I can hunt during our season, I always have to make sure that I'm ready to go out and sit for the whole day. So I get myself packed up on my ATV and head across the creek behind my house and out into the woods and get ready to get set up for the day. Once I get the ATV parked, I offload the blind and all the camera equipment and my gun and get things set up and organized for the day and start enjoying the forest coming alive and the animals coming in. And it doesn't take long. See a couple doe walking up on the hill probably fairly early in the morning, probably about 9 o'clock. Then I have some more doe that came in a little bit before lunch, probably around 11. Had some time to film them and enjoy watching them walking around in the woods. And knowing that the day's not over yet, although I have commitments later that evening with my family, but I'm going to stick it out for as long as I can and see if we can get it done. Being out during bow season, we know that the deer were coming around and the buck that we did see were early afternoon, so I'm really excited to wait and see what comes in after lunch. So in preparation for that, I decided time to have a little bit of a snack, have some coffee from my bison bottle and prepare for the afternoon and wait and see if the buck come in as they did during bow season.
This segment brought to you by Paul's Auto Center, providing emergency roadside assistance and towing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, serving the Hazleton area for over 30 years.
Well, just like I was waiting, it was probably about 2 o'clock or so, and I saw a buck start walking in, started glassing him. He was coming in from my left up the trail that I got to this hunting area with on my ATV. And it took quite a while. He was not in a hurry to go anywhere. And I could see 4 points on him, but here in PA we have to have at least 3 points on one side to make it a legal harvest. So it took quite a while, probably a good 10-15 minutes before I could actually see that he did have 2 brow tines. Although he was really not well formed rack, but you know, he was a legal buck. So of course the excitement was building. You know, this was my first buck walking in. So fortunately I was smart enough to remember to turn on all my cameras so that I could document this for you, and waited till I could get the perfect shot, worked on getting it done. Once I was able to determine that he was a legal deer, I got my cameras set up and picked up the rifle and got him in my sights, and then I double checked back to make sure that the deer continued to be in a good frame for self-filming, because that's what we were out there to do for you. Once I made sure he was in the frame, got back on the scope, put it on his shoulder, and I squeezed off a shot, and he dropped right there in his tracks. Well, folks, there you have it. As you saw, it took a little while for me to make sure that he was a legal buck. I could see at least 4 points. I finally got him to turn to be able to see that he has 2 brown tines. So from here it looks like he's a 6-pointer. We're giving him some time to lay and get our stuff together here in the blind. This would be my first buck in 5 years of hunting. After that shot rang out, I just felt really excited. The nerves got going, and I saw him hit the ground, and it was one of those things that I'll never forget. And the first person I thought about was getting in touch with Dennis and letting him know that we got one in the backyard and on the ground.
What a time. The excitement, we could see it when you shot. I could hear it on the video going, yes, yes, I got him, he's down, you know, and that's what it's all about, is that excitement and the whole entire experience when you're out there doing this, self-filming it and capturing it all by yourself. But you do need help to get that deer out of the woods, and Wally was texting everybody needing help. I knew team member Jim Sharp had just gotten out of the woods. I texted Jim. I said, Wally needs help. He drove all the way down with his wife, Jen, and they went back. They helped Wally get the recovery and everything taken care of and get that deer out of there, because I knew Wally had family commitments. But what an awesome hunt, a great team effort. Couldn't have asked for a better scenario. He put his time in, had to find a new place to hunt because where he was hunting early archery season, that closed down on him. And he went back, did the scouting, did the preparation, and had to lug that blind back and forth every single day. So man, Wally, congratulations. What an awesome deer. What an awesome hunt. Wild Bout Hunting is also proud to partner with these fine sponsors.